Welcome to What-ifs, where we twist history with mind-bending what-ifs. Today's question is one that will flip your childhood upside down. What if He-Man was never made for kids, but designed as a gritty, Conan-style epic for adults instead? Yes, you heard that right. We all remember He-Man, Masters of the Universe, as the ultimate 80s cartoon, full of neon armor, catchphrases, and moral lessons. But what if it had gone in the exact opposite direction? What if, instead of being a Saturday morning show, He-Man had been pitched as a dark, violent sword and sorcery epic, more Conan the Barbarian than Transformers? Let's rewind to 1983. Mattel is desperate to sell toys, and they've created a new action figure line, Masters of the Universe. The concept is bold, a muscular hero with mystical powers, battling a skull-faced warlord on a world of ancient magic and cosmic forces. But here's our twist. Instead of licensing it to Filmation for a kid-friendly cartoon, Mattel partners with a hardcore fantasy studio and releases a 13-episode animated series rated for teens and adults. No, I have the power. No catchy theme song. No cartoonishly evil Skeletor. Just brutal battles, moral ambiguity, and a world where Eternia is full of blood, betrayal, and dark magic. So what happens next? Well, first off, the show gets banned in schools and attacked by parent groups. It's too violent, too weird, too intense for kids. But it gains a cult following. Comic book nerds, Dungeons and Dragons fans, and older teens who've never seen anything like it on TV. The toys follow suit. More detailed, more realistic, less colorful. No cartoonish armor. No happy endings. And this change has massive ripple effects. Without the He-Man cartoon dominating Saturday mornings, the 80s toy industry evolves differently. No lunchboxes, no pajamas, no fast food promotions. Instead of He-Man, toy companies bet on other properties. Maybe the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles come earlier. Maybe Thundercats never gets made. Maybe the entire action figure boom of the 80s stalls. And what about animation? Without He-Man paving the way for toy-based cartoons, Marvel and DC don't rush to animate their heroes the same way. Would G.I. Joe have ever gotten made? Would Transformers rise the way it did? Or would it have been seen as too weird for kids? Even James Cameron's Avatar could have evolved differently. Imagine a world where fantasy epics never got sanitized for children. Would Cameron have leaned into science fiction instead? But let's go even deeper. Without He-Man shaping the decade's fantasy culture, Dungeons and Dragons might have taken a different path. Would Forgotten Realms ever have become mainstream? Would The Lord of the Rings animated film from 1978 have been seen as the only fantasy epic worth watching? And then there's the biggest twist of all. What if He-Man had influenced horror instead of toys? Imagine a world where He-Man is remembered like heavy metal, not as a cartoon, but as a controversial, adult-only animated series that scared parents and fascinated geeks. Would Evil Dead or Army of Darkness have looked different? Would filmmakers like Sam Raimi or Guillermo del Toro have drawn inspiration from He-Man instead of Conan? And what about music? Without the He-Man theme song, one of the most iconic intros of the 80s, would hip-hop have ever sampled it? And most bizarrely, would She-Ra have ever existed? Or would she have been a warrior queen in a darker, more mature spin-off? One creative decision, to make He-Man for adults instead of kids. And suddenly, the entire fantasy genre looks completely different. So what do you think? Was He-Man destined to be a kids' show? Or was the real missed opportunity hiding in the shadows? Drop your thoughts below. And if you loved this strange detour into toy and cartoon history, smash that like button, subscribe to What-ifs, and hit the bell so you never miss another bizarre, What if?